Welcome back to Fox and Friends, where you're looking live in Atlanta, Georgia this morning. We're just 2 days away from the crucial Senate runoff races in that state. Early voting ended with a record 3 million ballots cast. Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler is being challenged by Democrat Raphael Warnock, and Republican incumbent David Perdue is trying to hold his seat against Democrat Jon Ossoff. The future of which party controls the Senate is on the line, and it all comes down to Georgia. Here with more at what's at stake in this Georgia runoff election is Georgia GOP Congressman Doug Collins. Congressman, thanks so much for being with me this morning.
Hey, good morning, Will. Hope you're well. Happy New Year.
Thank you. So we have several different indicators coming in. It's hard to know how much trust to place in all of them. There's polling that suggests Warnock and Ossoff are up, but you and I both know the value of polling over the last 5 years. Still, early voting numbers are in, and it's heavy early voting numbers. Does that indicate that Democrats might be turning out? Is there a reason for concern for Perdue and Loeffler?
Well, there's always reason for concern in an election that takes place in a non-election mode. And people right now, although we've had $500 million spent in Georgia, January 5th election is not normal for any state. So the election turnout is always important. But what we're seeing here is people are ready to get the vote done. They're ready to get out. And early voting has been heavy, and we've seen that happen all across the state. So I think people are ready for this to be over. They're ready to see an election made. Now, it is very close. Any polling right now that shows you anything outside of ordinary is, I would say, completely wrong. This is a very close race. And I think really what it's going to come down to now is that turnout on January 5th, on Tuesday. And I believe that is when the conservative voices that typically vote on election day are going to come out. And that's what we're looking at right now. But it is a close race. And I cannot emphasize enough to my conservative friends in Georgia, you cannot, if you want to stay at home, if you feel frustrated about the election, you say, I don't want to be a part of it, then you're helping elect two socialist people to Senate who have no values that really have corresponded to what conservative Georgia really means. Like, they have to show up and vote for Loeffler and Perdue.
Congressman, I hear you emphasizing those points. You know, I'm from Texas. Pete's from Minnesota. We field calls from friends across this country who recognize the importance of what's going on here in Georgia. But I also hear you talking about, we know there's frustration among Georgians, perhaps with election integrity just 2 months ago. Where is your sense of where Georgians are right now in terms of enthusiasm, frustration, willingness to get to the polls?
I think their willingness to have all of the, as was said earlier by our friend Joey Jones, to just actually have the inundation of ads stop. You cannot watch the ball game. You cannot watch anything with outside groups telling us how to vote here in Georgia. Look, Georgia's pretty conservative. Georgia understands what's at stake here. You have a person in Jon Ossoff who is a trust fund socialist. You have Raphael Warnock, who is a pastor who believes that abortion is okay. I mean, there's just things that are really contradictory to conservative lifestyle here in Georgia. And you have the proven conservative of David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. What we're seeing, though, and it is a frustration. You sense it across the country. People want to make sure that their election and their vote matter. Not voting is letting the Democrats win this argument. And I'm tired of the Democrats winning an argument down here about things like voter suppression when they're the ones actually engaging many times in that. When we've seen minority participation increase, we've seen all of that happen over the last 4 years. We know Georgia is voting. We've got to make sure our voters turn out.
Congressman, really quickly, I think I only have 30 seconds left, so sorry to ask such a big question here, but you brought up that Raphael Warnock's a pastor. I know you're a former pastor. I spoke to another pastor this morning. Yesterday, there was an apolitical march, a prayer march here at the state capitol in Georgia. It seems to be that religion takes on an outsized role in this particular election.
Well, you can't separate faith from who you are. I've always said that. And for anybody that says they can separate their faith from with their everyday actions, don't really understand their Christian faith. So for us, it's very important that we get out. And Christians need to understand that life matters, and this is a vote they can make for life.
All right, Congressman Doug Collins, thank you so much for helping us understand what's on the line here in Georgia in just 2 days. Thank you.